Welcome back. Today we will talk about how to measure pneumatic cylinder. It could be an easy task, but sometimes it's more trickier than it could be. So let's start. First of all, cylinder have a few crucial sizes. Its diameter. On board depends power, which what cylinder is working, which pressure it could make in this point. And also stroke. This is this length, how far cylinder can go. But sometimes if you try to find new cylinder for equipment or want to change old one, you need to know these all sizes just to fit the cylinder perfectly back in this machinery. And what I like to do that, it's make a drawing. Let's measure this longest length of the cylinder, this length. We can use a simple ruler, and here you can see 240 millimeters. Let's write it down, 240. Then let's measure this size of the cylinder. It's like profile cube. It's something about 53 millimeters, 53, 54, but it seems 53. 53. Let's measure these sizes. Here we have something around 30, 38 millimeters. And here we have the same size, so it's a square. And let's write it down. Now let's measure this size. It's something around 11, 12 millimeters. 11, 12 millimeters. I forgot this size also. It will be this diameter, something around 31 millimeter. And here's the tricky part. It's about thread. Usually cylinders have metric threads if we are in Europe, but small metric thread is not like casual metric thread. It should be M12. And let's measure our bore. Bore is 16. 16, and the length of thread is 23. 23. And most trickiest part, it is stroke. Why it's tricky? Because sometimes pistons have these extensions or modification. That stroke that you see is not the real stroke. You need to measure this length. And let's do it real fast. And it is 135 millimeters. At least it should be. But how we can double check it? We can measure our cylinder in closed position and in open position, and just compare the stroke to those positions, and difference should be this 135. So let's measure it. For 30, open. For 30 and closed, 295. 295. And why? Because also stroke measurement can be tricky, because if you measure old cylinder, sometimes there's dirt or something, and cylinder do not make this whole stroke. But you always need critically look at this stroke and this part of cylinder. They should be something around the same almost all the time. If, for example, you have such a long cylinder, but your stroke is only this much, it's like a sign that something is wrong, and this stroke is not full. Because if you will order shorter cylinder, this whole size will be shorter. So yeah, now let's go to our catalogs. Here are our sizes from catalog. Let's start with the most useful size here, and this size actually is R or E, because if we know R or E, we can approximately understand what size cylinder, what bore cylinder is it. R is 38, and if we check our size, it's also 38, and it is a 40 diameter of cylinder. Okay, then let's stick to that. Second size will be this L8, but L8 is like L8 plus stroke. For example, if we know that L8 105 millimeters, we just add the stroke, which is 135, and we will get what? 240. If we check our size, it's also 240. Check the thread, it's size KK, and the KK is M12. Our also is M12. 1.25 is this small thread. Bore is our D. D is also 16. So yeah, theoretically, we now know that our cylinder is standard ISO 15552 cylinder, and almost any manufacturer have those. So almost you can put any manufacturer in this cylinder place. Okay, and this is how you measure your pneumatic cylinder. So please, if you have questions or comments, leave it below. Like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.